welcome to Chapter 2 of Alex's Adventures. Thank you for clicking on today's video. There's nothing really exciting going on, I'll be honest. I'm just kind of living my life, and I wanted to show you that. That's why it's called What I've Been Up To, because this vlog is all about just my life in the past 2 months, because it's been a while since we've caught up, if you will, even though I don't hear from you, and I'm just kind of putting things out there. This week has just been some of the boring stuff that happens during a typical week, like laundry. Mom, if you're watching this, I did wash my pillowcases this time, so I did it. And also, I've been going to the grocery store. Also, side note, on Sundays, I've been posting on my other account, @BoardsWithBoards on Instagram. So if you don't already follow that account, go do that, because I post almost every Sunday with a new quote that kind of represents my life. And sometimes there's fun background, sometimes they're not, but it makes me happy and it kind of distracts me from any stress that's going on. So go follow that account if you haven't already. Another thing that I've been up to lately is I've been attending improv rehearsals every Sunday, only for a couple hours every week, but it's the perfect amount of commitment where I don't have time to commit to Tuesday and Thursday rehearsals like I used to in undergrad, because I'm always working and class in the evening. So Sunday evenings are perfect for me to just be silly with my friends. And I don't film that, obviously, because one, I don't want to see myself do improv, but also I don't want to invade in other people's privacies and stuff like that. But here's a clip of me walking to rehearsal. Another thing I wanted to mention about improv is that we had our first show recently, and it went pretty well overall. We had a good turnout and people were laughing, so I guess we did a good job, which is always a good sign. I promise I try to film, I do, and here's the proof. I took a screenshot of my reminder. This was every day this week. It says vlog this week, and it just reminded me to pick up the camera and be like, oh yeah, I'm filming this week, because it's not natural, and I don't think it ever will be. I don't know how professional YouTubers do it. It's just yeah, I'm gonna film people walking around and stuff. But I don't know. It just doesn't come naturally for me yet. And I don't know if it ever will. So this is might be the best it gets. We'll see. Number 3 is just stuff. I don't know why I'm numbering them. I guess that's how my brain works. But another thing that's been happening this past 2 months is working, and I mentioned that at the beginning of September, is that I'm in a middle school working with so many students, and since then it's been so amazing. Nothing but good things to say, because the children aren't as scary as I thought they were going to be, and yet there are those ones that are a little snooty and whatever, but most of them still need my help, which feels good. That's why I becoming a teacher, because of those students that may need that extra support. So I'm so happy to give it to them, and I'm connecting with them so much more than I expected. And even the teachers that I'm working with, I feel like I'm getting good relationships out of that too. So it's really, really good. I'm happy I'm doing it. And off of that, I actually had my first and probably only observed lesson throughout this entire year. My program supervisor from Merrimack had to stop by and sit in the corner of the classroom while I taught a lesson. And I didn't film that, obviously, for many reasons, but also I filmed a after reflection video right after it happened. So I will let past Alex take it from here. So I just got home from teaching my lesson Obviously, I did a lot more than just teach a lesson during the day, but most importantly, I taught a lesson, and it actually went a lot better than I was expecting. And I remember this time last year when I was second grade in a second grade classroom, I didn't feel as good as I feel right now after my first observed lesson. And obviously a lot was different, the age was different, they were fully remote, my observer was away from me, there were so many factors kind of that were different, and I think that what made me more nervous going into it. But this morning I woke up and I told myself I'm nervous, but not as nervous as I have been in the past. So that definitely helped going into it. And I knew the material really well too. I knew the book. I've been reading the book with the students. And so they're sixth graders, so luckily they're able to listen of like, okay, Mr. Show is going to be observed today, and please behave kind of thing. And they actually listen. It's crazy. They were so quiet and studious and raising their hand when I asked them to. They were doing the thumbs up, thumbs down thing that I was asking. And it might have been overwhelming because there was a lot of information in like 30 minutes, but it was studying for a quiz they have tomorrow. And so I could tell that it depended on the kid, obviously, but it sounded like for the most part they were able to obtain what I was going for. And I like made sure obviously to call on not the same kids over and over again, because there are those kids that will answer every question I throw at them. But I tried to refrain. Obviously I wanted to give them time, especially with the kids I'm dealing with, give them time to process, and then if they want to, they can raise their hand. And so it happened, and the time was actually in my favor for once. Like, I feel like whenever I do a lesson, it always goes by super fast and I never get to do anything. But this time I did there's like 3 main sections of my lesson. I did the first section and only like 5 minutes or 10 minutes have passed. I was like, so I can do the first, another section and another one. So like, it was really awesome that everything seemed to work out. My observer really enjoyed what I had to do. He's like very engaging. The students really seem to respect you, which is awesome. I like to hear that. My SP, who I've been working alongside since September, she also really enjoyed it. She just mentioned like timing. He did too, pacing, which I'm always knocking myself down for. I talk really fast. I'm sure I'm talking really fast right now. So I was expecting that. That was definitely a given. And I'll try to improve, but again, I just know that I'm aware of that. There's nothing new or shocking, luckily. I'm really happy with how it went, and all the students were so cute. They're like, did you get a good grade on your lesson? I was like, well, it's not really graded, and then I had to explain the whole thing to them. So they do really care about me, and I care about them, obviously, so that felt really good at the end, that they were being behaved just for me. And obviously I told them at the beginning, like, still have fun, still be a student, and don't just be behaved because I asked you to, but like actually engaged, and they were. So I don't know, I'm very happy right now, which is awesome. And then on Thursday, it was a half day for the students, and I was supposed to stay for parent-teacher conferences, and I definitely would have, but I thought I was going to have class in the evening. I actually didn't end up having class, but I already told my teacher that I had class, so I wasn't going to like go back on my word. And I did go to the ones last week, so like I met most of the parents, but I just took the night off to go see Merrimac's performance of Ash Girl, which I don't know if you've ever heard of, and it was really good. And I was being an usher, so I was like selling t-shirts and stuff at the beginning, and then I was able to watch the show for free. Another fun thing on Thursday that I did before the Ash Girl, I know I'm going out of order, but I walked to Panera because it was nice enough in November, which doesn't happen very often. So I walked down to Panera, which isn't very far from my apartment, and I was able to get their new mac and cheese sandwich, which was good. I like to set high expectations for food like that, where it looks so good in the picture, and I love mac and cheese and I love bread, so I was like, this is going to be the best thing ever, and then it was just good. It wasn't bad, it wasn't great, it was just good, if you're wondering. You probably don't. And then Friday was really fun. I had a full day of school, and the students were insane. Fridays are always kind of crazy in the middle school, but it was good to just like have that day to be crazy, and then the weekend. And I got to go to Framingham to visit a couple of my friends, or a lot of my friends actually, because I got to see their production of Clue. But before, I wanted to mention I got to see Anna, my good friend, who was episode 7 guest of the podcast. So if you haven't seen that yet, you can go do that now, or maybe after this video. But it was good to see her. We caught up. And then, so the Clue thing, I went into it, I was like, I am going to film the stage, or like me walking into the theater or something like that to show that I was there. The only proof I have is their program, which is beautiful. And also, like, it was really good. I really enjoyed the production. And the only footage I have of the night is me driving to it because I thought the sun looked pretty. That's like all I have about last night, except for a clip I'll talk about in a minute. But I was there, it was a really good show, and it was so amazing watching them perform in person too, because it's been 2 years since Hilltop has done something in person. And also, I didn't have to stress about the behind the scenes of it because I was just a visitor, which felt weird but good at the same time. So great job, Hilltop players. That was an amazing production. I wish I could see it again, but I'm not about to drive another hour both ways to see it. So great job from a distance. So the other footage I wanted to talk about was my two good friends, Lauren and Jenna, who were also guests on the podcast, episode 13. I'll put a little link. And we got to hang out a little bit after the show, and it was good to catch up with them as always. And now here we are, it's Saturday. I'm wrapping up my week, as you can tell. It was a good week. I'm very happy that I kind of took some footage of some things because, again, it wasn't too crazy. Like, there was some things here and there, but a lot of it was just my normal week, and I wanted to film some of that. As you can see, I need a haircut. I'm going to do that tomorrow. And I always like to check in about like how I'm doing, and I'm always happy, which is awesome. Like, I'm stressed, as always. Like, I definitely don't think I could say that I'm extremely happy and nothing's going wrong and that everything is good because it's stressful, but that's not a bad thing. Like, everyone needs stress in their life, so it's like a good amount of stress, good amount of happiness. I get to see my friends and stuff like that. I have things that aren't just school, so I'm not always working, so I feel like I'm in a good place right now. And what's ahead, Thanksgiving is actually coming up this Thursday, and I'm so excited about it because my aunt invited me over to their kind of party that they're having. So I get to see my cousins and then their children, so my second cousins, and they're like cute little babies and toddlers, so that's really exciting. And my aunt that invited me over is actually the same aunt I used to always be with during Thanksgiving when my family, or before my family abandoned me. So, and by abandoned, I mean that they moved down to Florida and I'm still in Massachusetts. They didn't abandon me like in a bad way, just in a way of like, oh, I guess I'm not with my family anymore. Anyway, so my aunt invited me over and I'm very thankful for that. And I'm hopefully gonna bake a pie and bring it. We'll see if that ends up well because I've never baked a pie before. The next video that you'll see on this channel is update number 3. If you've seen my update videos before, they're kind of like similar to the vlog, but they're like larger scale and it's more just like a talking thing where I'm like, this is what's happening now, this is what's happened, and then this is what's going to happen. So hint, hint, nudge, nudge, I'm going to be talking about next year, so 2022. I have some plans, like always. I'm hopefully going to start some things up again, and that's all I'll say for now, because you're going to have to tune in probably 2 weeks from now to see the new update video. So thank you for watching as always. I appreciate your viewing. Even if you just skipped around and now you're here at the end somehow, whatever you did, let me know what you think in the comments down below. I love to hear what you think. Otherwise, I will see you next time. Stay validating, whatever that means to you, and have a great Thanksgiving. Bye, everyone.